Oh, I
Wow.
mean, could that be something? It's kind of a back pocket, if you will, and if they are able to ride that into a win and catch Quincy Crew off guard, this is the time to do it.
Yeah,
I
that
wonder if that's
But
something
why
that they
pick
know
it?
about as well in pubs.
Why pick
Oh.
it third though? I guess you still get the counter pick technically
'Cause
since
it's-
you don't get the last pick of the second phase.
because it's a 5, so like I feel like you don't care if it's countered. I mean, it's already kind of countered by like the Witch Doctor, right? So you'd never run this. Well, maybe you would, but you'd be unlikely to run this as a 3 versus the Witch Doctor because you just casks the Eidolons, and then all of a sudden your entire laning phase is awful on Enigma. So almost
so you're
certainly
assuming
a 5.
that Quincy Crew also is expecting this to be position 5.
I think so. They're not stupid. They've been seeing what Jube's picking, like we all do. There's not that many people in NA. You know, we all queue into each other all day. That's the
Fair enough,
reality
fair
of things here.
I'm nervous though because if it is a position 5, I wouldn't expect him to be able to get something like a BKB anytime soon. So without
Yeah.
a real scary threat of a black hole, and now Quincy Crew pick up something like an Earth Spirit, which can just quick silence from afar.
Okay,
that's a lot of pressure.
counter argument here. I actually haven't seen Jube do this one, but I saw Old White do it. I think we might have been casting. I don't know if I was just watching on my own. I don't remember. But Ether Lens, yeah, it's actually super goddamn good, and it's cheap. And I've been building it every single game on offlane Enigma, and it feels good, even in games where it's like a free Enigma game, and you. Because in that game, Old White was like behind. So it's like, oh, maybe that's why he's doing it. No, it's just broken. It's just OP. Like it sets up for the hole so easily. And I think in a 5 position, it would work perfectly. So I'd love to see him do that in this game to set up for the holes.
All right. Jug. Good old trusty Jug comes out now.
Yeah, you got, I mean, I don't know how this position 5 Enigma will work. I'll have to see it for myself, but they have a lot of team fight. I mean, Black Hole with Coil, Miranda does a lot of magic damage. Jug can just Omni Slash on top. Or, I mean, the fact that you can spin with Shard and deal that much damage late game is kind of crazy as well, as long as they're disabled. You just get it on multiple people. Pretty insane team fight right now.
So let's see. If you're Quincy Crew, some hero that deals with like Enigma would be nice. Like some hero that doesn't care about getting hold. I guess. Okay, Wraith King is banned. That would have been really good for the coil and the hole. Are there any other Wraith King like heroes? Ursa kind of sucks because his status resist does nothing against Enigma. It's good against Puck though. Let's see, what other carries do we have here?
Well, if you're not going to be getting BKB and you're careful with your positioning, I was going to say Monkey King. He was actually first banned. Never mind.
They just go with the
been
natures
okay.
again. Okay. I mean, natures will
Split
do
push.
Yeah, that's an answer to just not fight. That's always good and go for pickoffs. Like we talked about this Void Spirit in the last game, Void Spirit, Earth Spirit. I mean, that's some insane pickoff potential. So just avoid fighting altogether. And I think if they do this style of play and they go for some like insanely hard carry on Quincy Crew, that their draft looks really good. I think if they don't go for some insanely hard carry and they have to fight, I actually think that Black and Yellow is winning this draft. So if I were Black and Yellow, I would ban out like the ultra carries. They need some hyper carry to like win this in the late game, like Ricky or something like that.
Ricky, Terrorblade.
TB is really good, yeah.
I mean, you have one building hitter with Nature's Prophet, kind of.
Alchemist would
split pushy.
Alch would actually be really good, I think.
Okay.
You don't care about getting hold for the most part.
They did a Pango ban, so they're certainly all
wow.
privy
I'm
to
surprised
the
by that.
5 position Enigma.
Okay.
Yeah, they
need
need
Ursa versus Jug. It's not. I mean, once you get Abyssal, maybe you can burst them down. But I feel like Jug is fine with that matchup, isn't he? Just Omni Slash or Swift Slash.
It's okay now. Yeah, it's okay. Black and Yellow, they need a beefy boy. They need somebody that's like ideally going to set up for Mirana and somebody that's beefy. So like Sand King, Mars comes to mind. Oh, Mars is actually just straight up banned in the second phase. So
I mean, this could still be an offlane Enigma as well.
It could. Yeah, Morphling would have been decent, even though it gets countered by Enigma. It is a pos 5 Enigma, so you can't really rely on like getting that hole to kill a carry. Okay, so they go for the Medusa.
I was thinking Medusa, but I mean, I guess if Enigma is going to be position 5, you don't have to worry about his potential as much in team fights. Like you think of Midnight Pulse, you think of Black Hole. Medusa's not very mobile. She's stuck in that position. She's stuck in those kind of fights. The coil.
Stone Gaze,
I guess. Yeah, Stone Gaze is your get out of jail free card for Medusa, But I guess if they can kind of nurture her into a late game like thriving position, it won't matter how things go in the early mid game. But
Yeah,
all right.
she's like the super carry they needed. I mean, this is like the popular super carry hero right now. She can literally just 1v5. So if you're black and yellow, some answer to Medusa. Pango would have been amazing because you can get Diffusal.
Wow, that's team fight. That's a lot to dump into one
Beefy
area.
boy.
And another, that likes the long-witted fights, likes heroes like Medusa that sit still. It's a decent black and yellow draft, I gotta say. But the big question here, though, gentlemen, is can they do it? Can they pull out the upset and close this out 2-1 against Quincy Crew and open the division up, or will Quincy Crew take the series? Suns fan, you first.
Feels like Medusa just doesn't lose, so I'm going to obviously go with Quincy Crew, the safe pick, but I'm very intrigued by Black and Yellow's draft. I'm very interested.
I'm like 50-50 on this one. I actually think the drafts are really even. If Quincy Crew doesn't fight and they can avoid fighting, I think they win. If Black and Yellow takes one good team fight, they snowball. But I'm going to go with Black and Yellow. I just, my gut feels it. That's all.
All right.
Could be
with
indigestion,
that said,
but
it's true. Very true. It's a lot of soda you have. We got to cut to a break. When we come back, though, it's time to throw it over to our casters. It is GoDz and the repaired mic of Lyrical Dota.
I'm back again, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for game number 3. I am alive and well. I've not been taken over by the robots. GoDz, we got a final draft, and Medusa, again, looking pretty freaking good across the region. They take it with their last pick here on Quincy Crew. Is it enough?
Yeah, I think this is a much more even draft, whereas last game we saw, I would say, a fairly heavy outdraft. They had no answers for the Timbersaw especially. I like that they first hit the Witch Doctor, which kind of deterred any kind of early Timber pick. It's also just good against the Underlord this game. I would give Quincy an edge, but at the same time, Black and Yellow have a good draft themselves.
Yeah, I would kind of tend to agree with you there. I think that the edge that I would give Quincy Crew, though, is just their natural team edge, because I do really like the Black and Yellow draft a lot as well. So much team fight, and I guess one of the big questions will be what happens in this laning stage.
Yes, I'm very curious to see the 5-position Enigma. I've kind of caught glimpses of it in some other regions and other games, but it makes sense. It's kind of what the old Lich used to be. You just go safe lane, deny every range creep, and then it's less. It doesn't dominate the lane the way a Lich does, but come mid game, you've got this crazy ultimate where even if you're just black holing one core, like Jenkins mentioned, that's great. That's worth it.
Totally. And if you have to have them spend spells on you to try and take it down, that's also really annoying. But there are some pretty good spells to interrupt it. Earth Spirit, the silence. I'm not sure about the roll through. It feels like sometimes there's some weird interactions that exist with the rolling into certain abilities, but we'll have to wait and see.
I like what MSS was doing on his Earth Spirit. He was actually trying to stay in range of Jubei's range creep denies to make sure they get some of the XP. And also pulling waves from behind the tower. They're going to lose a courier down bottom. Bit of miss micro. Not the end of the world. Yeah.
The gold Nature's Prophet is going to get a couple punches on his way out of here, pulling the creep wave past.
Most noticeably, this mid lane is currently being crushed by Quinn so far.
Oh, wow.
Puck does secure a last hit using the Waning Rift to get a range creep, but yeah, Quinn is dominating. 8 and 3, including at least one range creep deny.
So that's every creep that he's gotten. So he might have missed one. He didn't get a last hit. There's 2. All right, now we need to stop looking. Look somewhere else, quick, server. But yeah, it's so far looking pretty good for him up there, or rather in the mid lane and top lane as well. Medusa 8 and 1 so far. It's going to be probably a better time because obviously not getting a round of creeps being denied out up here.
Exactly. Yeah, Medusa is having this Witch Doctor do a really good job zoning as well. Zero is just not having the easiest of times because of the Maledict potential. And you've got a Mirana. Mirana just doesn't really crush lanes. It's kind of a greedier 4 position. That's why people like picking it in pubs. Totally fine to pick this here in pubs. It is a very good 4 position, but it is on the greedy side.
Right. Well, I mean, it depends on the matchup too. There's no setup for your arrow. You got people that want to jungle anyways. You might be getting a couple reports in there. But I would absolve you. Don't worry, people out there in Twitch chat.
I love playing 4 position Mirana. I just see people complain about it all the time. But as long as you're having a positive impact on the game.
I like it.
So far, Fleas, you're giving your offlaner solo XP. That's always nice in itself. Mirana's one of those heroes that can kind of chill in the jungle, play away from the lane. Even if you're sniping range creeps, you can give the solo XP to your offlaner. But
okay.
I feel like Zero is probably feeling like, man, I wish I had an off lane, a 4 position who could bully this Witch Doctor back. So he's having a bit of a rough time because of the run.
Well, there aren't that many that do that anyways. It's just going to be, but at least they have been able to get the lane into a good position here, soaking up some amount of experience. While simultaneously, LOA going to go back and try and pull this camp to the side as well. So they're going to get one of those small camp pulls off as well.
Yeah. Taking another look at this mid lane. Looks like Puck has somewhat stabilized the lane, picked up a bottle now. So we'll see that 4-minute rune RNG come into play a little bit. I think if either mid laner wants to get a rune, they basically have to gamble and guess where it's going to spawn. Otherwise, supports are going to be there to pick it up. So we'll see if either of those 2 mid laners gets lucky.
Yeah. Well, they do bring one support in as MSS is here. They also have Flea still nearby, who's literally just been jungling that camp over and over again. And Raya, oh, it is going to be a DD. Spawns up top. Well done.
It's generally what happens is that both teams send one support to secure one of the runes. So Flea secured top, meanwhile MSS secured bottom, and then it just comes a coin toss as to whether or not it spawns there. So nice little edge going Puck's way, considering he was slightly behind in this mid lane. These side lanes, Quincy Crew is doing very well in. Medusa is free farming and getting a ton of denies. And despite the range creeps denies down bottom, Leslau is level 4 and winning the CS battle against Jug slightly.
I mean, the sort of dynamic in this lane is wild. It's almost becoming Flea that's more the carry, right? He's, for a brief second, he had more CS than the Puck did, and now on even marks with it. Granted, jungle creeps, but this is pretty crazy. He's going to be super farmed.
Yeah, and once he hits level 6, that's when you can see Prophet threatened kills in these side lanes. It's really hard for the support. It's really hard for anyone to play in a lane except maybe the Puck, when there's that threat of a Wrath of Nature coming in.
Well, so far they've been able to keep him pretty far back. Flea continuing to do the pulls off to the side there, trying to get some creeps along the way. As he's going to make a move. Keep on farming as down bottom. Spin onto Leslau. They got him in their sights, and Jube able to help secure that kill. First blood, John by the Jug.
And this is, something, one of the things I was curious about is what is the build on a 5-position Enigma? It goes for the second point in Malefice at level 3 for that extra bit of stun and control. It synergizes so well with the Blade Fury, and it allows him to get these kills.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know if there's been many, Enigmas that go for that build, but they do make a rotation up top now and find the kill onto Zero.
Nice support rotation. Curious to see if either of these mid laners starts rotating soon. They both hit level 6 now. And securing the runes, it looks like Leslau is going to look to set up this bottom rune, but Jube going in for the deny may pay the price.
Yeah.
But in some ways, him dying to stop Quinn getting a haste rune might be worth it. He may not even die here. With backup coming, Flea as well as Ryoya there to keep Jube alive. And they've got a coil.
Nicely played now. Still have that arrow available if they want to use it. The
Treants
are blocking, but they missed the arrow. And now the movement over with Zero in the area. Quinn going to live through it. The Malefice not enough to take him down. Wow.
The raindrop combined with the great Treant micro from Lelis. He was just placing them right in front of the Mirana. Saving Quinn's life. Really heads up play. Just the Enigma dying in the end, so... Not a huge win by either side, but definitely a scenario where if Quinn dies there, things are looking really good for Black and Yellow.
Absolutely. So saving off a little bit of potential disaster. As bottom lane, it got a little bit of free time to hit away at this tower, but they bring back Lelis again, and now going to run into MSS, gets the kick away. That should be the end of the aggression down there.
Yeah, Yamson just wanting to pick up his Ring of Health from that shop. Would like to see him, grab that magic stick, bring it out. I feel like that's a very just strong laning item, but... Back atop, LOA's found Zero with the Maledict. It's just a level 2 Maledict, but holding the cast to stop a TP out. It looks like they're going to get another kill on Zero here. He doesn't have a TP.
Now, on the chase down.
Oh, he's going to live for now. He can Quelling Blade his way through. I'm not sure if they're going to chase it. I think they just assume he TP'd out, but...
Right.
He will TP soon, and... Even so, you are still free farming away. So unlike last game where his PA was getting pressured, this time around his game is looking pretty free.
It's interesting too, because Underlord was like that last pick, and he's had just a very tough lane. It has allowed Flea to basically be completely free in this game. Has Urn, has Boots, level 4, just about 8-minute mark now. Like, Flea's been just completely catered to. He's above the Underlord net worth.
I think it's a hero that's going to look pretty good against the Medusa in the mid lane. Medusa just not a mobile hero, so she's going to be just stuck in a bit of Malice, plus a Trophy Aura, which is going to just reduce a lot of her damage output, since it is percentage-based. So I like the idea of picking this against Medusa, as long as the lane can go okay, which is where things are not looking too great for Zero so far.
Right. So now at the 8.5-minute mark, we saw MSS there get away from the Omni Slash that was used, but he won't be able to escape from this one as they drop down the coil. Quinn making the rotation afterwards. Yamsun, he's in some trouble here. I think he's just dead. They find him with the taunt, pull him back in, and gonna just chase down and kill off this Juggernaut. Can't take down SVG before he goes down.
Yeah, I like the idea of rotating Jug for that aggressive play, but he didn't have much mana. His Omni Slash was also just on cooldown. I don't know when and where he used it. I guess maybe he missed a kill on Lelis or something.
It was on MSS over by the triangle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, without the Omni Slash, it's a very dangerous play to make. And now we're going to see Proper Unit get sniped. Quinn finds him.
Heads up play there. Quinn recognizing that they were going to make that movement. And I mean, they did steal a good amount of farm from Uar right there, but I think that's worth it to get the kill.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It feels like Black and Yellow is starting to get pressured now. Quinn with a Fairy's Trinket, a fantastic item to have on any Spirit hero. He's going to be able to make a lot of plays around the map, it feels like.
Very interesting start to this game as we get towards the 10-minute mark. Jubei's been able to hit level 5 on this Enigma, so it does feel like he's going to be a pretty strong, contriment to all this extra damage.
Yep.
And we're almost getting to a Battle Fury on Jug.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Zero could be in some trouble. Dodges to Death Warden. Oh, what a play from SVG.
Oh, is he going to get down Flea? Oh my goodness.
He almost got both. That was mighty close. Nature's Prophet throws out the ultimate. I think just not catching Flea, or that may have been another kill.
Right. That would have been really nice.
That was a sick arrow dodge into Death Ward.
Well, finds that one, but the real offlaner able to survive yet again. As Jubei down here again. Almost level 6, gets rolled on, can't quite connect in time. Do they have any detection? No, nothing. Playing against Mirana, my guys.
They're hoping to pressure this tower, but Jubei able to convert the Siege Wagon. That's another really underrated aspect of this 5-position Enigma, just being able to insta-kill Siege Wagons. Mid lane, they're going in on LOA.
Face down, roll, tries to get Roya. It does manage to get the silence off. And with Quinn coming in at the end, that is a quick and easy blow up. LOA dropping down. Did not have enough to survive. But still, another big kill on that puck.
Absolutely. You take that trade. And that's a 5-position for the enemy mid laner. Just making sure he timed the Maledict so that it didn't get dodged. And bottom lane, they're looking for a response here. Lelis in some trouble with the Malefice catching him.
Yeah, now... Oh, wait a minute.
Tree micro.
Nice. Oh my god, he's dropped the black hole on him. But the silence afterwards, Leslau still trying to live, wasn't ever going to be enough. MSS seeing if he can get a return kill, but it's not going to happen. And this is what you talked about. If you can manage to get a solo black hole, it can be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely worth it, but still, I'm sure Lelis is saying, just by the fact he microed his treants to tank the Omni Slash, he forced a black hole, so...
Yeah.
Some, bit of good for... I'd say it's a bit of a small win for both teams in some ways. I think the good thing Black and Yellow is doing is fighting around their Jug. Jug is just a much stronger hero, even without any items, than the Underlord is. Underlord's job is just to sit top, get levels, get farm, and we're not going to see Zero look to rotate. So if they want to fight, they need to do so using Yamsun whenever he has Omni Slash up.
And that's really going to be the key marker that we wait for. That along with, obviously, the Dream Coil when they can do it. But not always going to be enough damage just by virtue of the puck alone.
Yeah. The problem is you don't want to involve him too much, or we're going to see this farm discrepancy between Deuce and Jug continue to get bigger and bigger. It's already 2,000 gold between the two carries. Considering we're this early on, that is definitely a little bit concerning.
Right. And Jug is eventually going to be getting in his farming item as well, which will accelerate his farm slightly. But any distance that's made up right now is going to be sort of a bigger problem the later we go. Quinn tried to find an angle onto Flea, but couldn't quite get there.
Just a sentry being planted, so hopefully not going to find any kind of a D-ward. And mid-tier 1 tower in a lot of trouble here. They're going to have to TP in the Underlord to try and defend this.
Interesting. The pressure all across the map right now. They take down that tier 1 tower bottom and now moving here. But this is the job of the Underlord. Fortunately, with SVG nearby, they're able to live through
Moonlight
a little
Shadow
bit
and
of
try
extra
fight
damage.
this. They don't have Black Hole, they don't have Omni Slash, so this is not an easy defense, but Quincy, respecting the Moonlight Shadow coming out, will back off for now.
Interesting. And as soon as they force it, yeah, everybody just retreats. Not sure who's they caught sight of that was Moonlight, but
yeah.
Regardless, a really nice play. And this entire time, Yawar just keeps on farming.
Yeah, I think, you know, Quincy Crew are getting slightly more out of this, but, you know, it's staying around a 1 to 2k gold lead. Yamsen's making the right call to just get some alone time to go farming, get his Battle Fury up. I think at some point, Black and Yellow's made the call, okay, we didn't crush the early to mid game. We need our Jug to keep up with Medusa as well as possible. So Black and Yellow are playing less aggressive because they recognize that they haven't done a good job of ruining this Medusa's game.
Right. We did see another couple of stacks here, taking up the Ancients a couple of times for when the Jug does eventually finish that Battle Fury. Getting very close to getting that one done. This could be a nice move potentially from Quincy Crew if they can scout out that the Ancients are there. Maybe Medusa comes to try and steal it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's where that smoke move from Quincy, as soon as Quincy smoked to that the Radiant Triangle, they immediately dropped sentries, expecting there to be wards on the Ancient, but
right.
The wards being used elsewhere. Quincy not wanting them to get de-warded, and like you mentioned, when Jug gets Battle Fury, that's going to be a big boost to Yamsen's farm, and not catch up to the Medusa, but at least kind of keep him close. If Quincy somehow invade and take these Ancients, that's going to be an absolute disaster, though.
They are already moving over into that position. Away gets one of the D-wards done as they stack them yet again. So a 4-stack of Ancients right here. Arrow going to go out, connect onto that Witch Doctor, drop everything, and just dodges away from it. Quinn, the dissimulate outie. And he is good to go.
Yep, nice coil dodge. Still, I like the move from Black and Yellow. They're just making sure they do everything they can to protect this top side of the map, protect their Ancients. Even with Jug not there, they just know that Quincy probably wants to come in and get some vision down, see what's going on, and they're doing everything they can to defend it.
Roll in towards mid. They find him on 0, taunted, silenced afterwards. Perfect execution. And now the tier 1 tower is going to go down. I'd be really concerned about those Ancients again. That feels like it could be a sticking point here.
Yeah, that's definitely worrying. I don't know how aware Quincy are of what's been going on with all the stacks. They haven't really scouted it for some time. I think when they did their smoke invasion, there was only maybe a double stack at most, but Black and Yellow are just going to have to 5-man these Ancients, and yet LOA comes in, scouts it out.
Yeah.
Danger down the Observer Ward. It's in a sneaky spot here. They're going to need some high ground vision, either with a Courier or an Arrow. It looks like the Courier's coming out to make sure they de-ward it.
Oh, they're checking
I expect all 10 heroes to come play around these Ancients if Quincy Crew want to contest this. But it looks like Yamsen's going to get in there before Quincy can make a move.
Yeah. LOA was checking, soaking up a little bit of XP along the way. But yeah, they do manage to clear those out.
Yeah.
So a lot of heroes brought over as they're just recognizing how integral all that stuff is to their strategy working.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you'd rather not commit all 5 heroes to secure your Ancients, but you just had to. And Quincy Crew just have Medusa farming while that's going on.
Right.
Ryoya could be in some trouble.
Remnant, taunt, pulls in afterwards. Silence again. They got the ulti down. Black Hole is available, but Zero's just going to have to pop his ulti to try and get out of there in time. Don't have enough damage to burst him. Slow down. Maybe they do. Ooh, that was close.
Very close. I mean, Quincy made that jump there. I was expecting just a Yule's Remnant setup on the puck, but they managed to get the lockdown even without the Yule setup there. Quinn just placing the Remnant nicely with the roll setup, and now they're going to follow up with a tier 1 tower. Black and Yellow overall did a good job keeping these tier 1 towers alive for a long time, playing against the Nature's Prophet, but this mid game is going to get really tough. Puck is going to need an answer to the Orchid. As fight brewing mid.
Dangerous, rolls in. There's vision up here for both these teams. Able to catch Arrow afterwards. Omni Slash directly onto Quinn, blows him up. Now looking for more. LOA gonna be chased,
more.
has the urn, a couple more punches. And looks like they'll eventually get him. A double kill for Flea there. 8-8 in the score, 4,000 gold lead for Quincy Crew, but you can see Black and Yellow, they're not done yet.
Yeah, great move to catch the Void Spirit. That's the one thing, yeah, Void Spirit, if he gets caught in those roots, you can't really defensively use against Pit of Malice because you're just going to come right back down and get rooted again. So a tier 1 tower being claimed. This is, you know, a small step towards having a bit more pressure on the Medusa's farm if you can get in there, get some vision around that dire triangle, but I imagine Quincy's still feeling like they're in a pretty okay spot here. Medusa's yet to get involved, as you'd kind of expect. You don't want Medusa coming to these fights until she's got 2 items usually, but Black and Yellow are, you know, they're on pace to make this game very competitive.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it ends up going. Sending in more treants here up top as bottom.
Smoke
A
up.
lot of heroes smoked up. They want to get a free kill on UR. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Jubei may just have to throw away his life here.
And they got him in their sights as the beatdown comes, Maledict on him, and they will find that kill. Now trying to find another, but Zero able to juke away from the problems, and Royoya going to cut some waves. MSS got his eyes on it, finds him. There wasn't even any vision there. Just rolled through, knew where he was gonna be. Silence comes out afterwards. Can he orb out way in time? TP's out, but the catch, they pull him back in right at the last second. Royoya brought down by Quinn. MSS.
I think
Nicely
he had,
played.
after the silence, he had the jaunt to his orb if he wanted to. I think he was just like, felt like he had a window to TP out there. So he didn't go for the jaunt, then TP. And as a result, yeah, he gets picked off. That's back-to-back kills, and Quincy Crew able to utilize those pickoffs to keep this bottom and mid lane pushed out very deep. And this Jug is under a lot of pressure as a result.
War pops the Manta, runs away again. But Bounty Rune, we'll see if they're able to pick that one up in time. Looks like they will. So Quincy Crew should set up for 4 bounties here.
Yeah, that's where that puck kill makes a big economic difference. Especially in a game like this where Quincy Crew's not like trying to play super fast tempo. They're happy to play this kind of slower farm-based game with the Medusa, so pressure's on Black and Yellow to make these plays work.
Mid, the ulti now onto Zero, trying to bring him down. Coconut's still bouncing. He's down super low, but they won't be able to find the finish there. Again, the healing ward coming into play.
He's pretty tanky still, luckily. Ryoya bottom gets orchid up.
Scary.
Still working on his Yule Scepter. It looks like he will keep himself alive. But like you say, it's still scary for him.
MSS has the roll if he wants to go for it. Has the orb to jump back to. Not going to go for that one.
Here
The rest
comes
of
the
the team
smoke gang.
coming into position. Trying to find him. LOA, the one that they might run to first. The taunt catches onto Jug. Flea trying to chase Arrow. Splits the uprights. Doing literally nothing. Zero, though, is the one that's going to get jumped on here. They already have the sentry down. And that will be a kill onto the Underlord as he falls and still looking for more. Quinn not giving up the chase. They also have Leslau TPing in. These heroes are so mobile, and they'll find another kill onto the poor old Mirana. One by one, they go down. Quincy Crew have really started to hit on all strides now.
They did deal with the creeps bottom lane, and Ryoya's going to grab another creep wave. So this could keep this tier 2 bottom tower alive, it looks like. Really good disengage from Quincy Crew there, because I love that. That smoke from Black and Yellow was perfect. It completely caught them by surprise, but the vision from Quincy with the Observer plus Sentry. So they scouted them out in the Moonlight Shadow the second the smoke wore off and just disengaged, forced Black and Yellow to chase a little bit too far. Once they missed the arrow, that's when the turnaround happened. They were like, okay, they missed the arrow, and we positioned perfectly. Medusa's in the front lines. They can't get past her because of Stone Gaze. Now we can basically find some pickoffs here.
Right. Really nice stuff. I mean, that's the thing that just ends the life of one of those heroes. It's why this Mirana pick has been so good and worked so well for them the past couple games. But nonetheless, they take this tier 2 tower down bottom while also going mid onto the puck. The taunt, the stun, it's all there. Man, this Void Spirit as an answer to a puck has been so sick.
Yeah. It's very much, it's such a kind of fun 1v1 mid because just throughout the game because of the fact they both counter each other.
Oh, taunt, chase, yet again. They find him. Zero going to drop. Anybody that gets gone on at this point by the Spirit Bros are just in the grave.
Yeah. This has been kind of classic Quincy Crew Dota. They just kind of flip a switch in the mid game, find pickoffs all over the map. Black and Yellow played a really solid laning stage. They were only down by a couple thousand gold, maybe 15, 16 minutes in, but Quincy have since then just been able to pick and choose much better fights, utilize their item timings like this Nature's Prophet Orchid incredibly well, not to mention Quinn with the Yules and Aghanim Scepter now, making it so hard for so many heroes like Mirana, Puck. They all rely on these escape spells.
Yeah, very tough to really have anything to do now. Quinn does a quick little jump through there onto the Jug, and they'll be able to push out that top lane if they want, but wherever they want to go right now, Quincy Crew able to do it. Roche is probably on the menu in the near future.
Yeah, this Dusa closing in on a Daedalus plus level 20 has ample damage to deal with Roshan, and until they get a Blink Dagger on this Enigma, it feels like Jubei's ability to find a black hole, like we mentioned, like, yeah, all he has to do maybe is black hole 1 core, but when Quincy's grouping up, he's not going to have a black hole opening without a blink, and even with a blink, I feel like it's going to be incredibly hard to get a black hole off because there's so many ways to cancel it.
Taunt comes through as they will find that Puck. Has Yule Scepter trying to live, jumps away again, doesn't have a Blink Dagger though, so Ryoya going to drop. Another death for the Puck. 0-6-3. It has been a rough game for him.
Very, very tough Puck game playing against the Void Spirit. Once that Void Spirit got some momentum, this game just quickly got a bit out of hand. They can still delay, and that's going to be kind of the game plan here for Black and Yellow, but they're going to be in the position Quincy Crew was last game, where it just feels like you're getting further and further behind while you give up map control.
Yeah, and needing to get some of these plays, spin TP away. Yamsun able to get out of there for the moment before things start going a little bit too far south. Trying to get to that Aghanim Scepter for the Jug, which, you know, will allow for more of those like quick and easy jumps in and outs and stuff. But yeah, this is a tough one. This is a really tough game here for Black and Yellow. They do have the high ground at the very least, to some extent. A lot of heroes to cut waves, a lot of heroes to sort of keep them back. But now into Roche, Quincy Crew gonna go with the Daedalus on Dusa.
Yep. And yeah, this Dusa poking high ground with Aegis Daedalus, it feels like nobody can really get in close. And even if she gets Black Hole, if he can't cancel it, just doesn't feel like she's gonna die anyway, so. Right. We'll see what Black and Yellow do. They need to find a way to get on the back lines, as is often the case when you've got this tanky frontlining Medusa, Timbersaw type hero. And they don't have the best heroes to do that with, it feels like. Especially Puck playing without a Blink Dagger makes this very hard.
Right. Yeah, whittling away is going to need to be the name of the game for Black and Yellow.
Yeah.
And then hitting
they're gonna
that
have
perfect combo.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep cutting waves, trying to delay the push by having Puck get waves behind the push. But it's so... I mean, we've seen Ryo, like you mentioned, 0-6-3. He's having a rough one after doing so well last game, but he's not going to really want to try and split push and cut waves because of that constant threat of him dying.
Sun going to go for the spin TP away. Realized there was danger with that sentry ward down and gets out.
That's the good news, I guess. Jug, there's no answer to the spin TP, so he can always cut waves and split push as long as he gets the spin off. He is unkillable during a spin TP.
Well, unless they just right-click him to death. That'd be bad.
That's true. I don't think anyone's right-click. I don't think Medusa's ever going to go chase a Jug around the map to deal with the split push. I mean, theoretically, she's got Stone Gaze to deal with a spin TP, but
right.
Yeah, they don't have the damage to right-click him down.
You are. Saying toe-to-toe. Well, Yamsun gonna be slowed down by the Scotty.
Yeah, that's...
Ooh.
It's okay.
A worry for things to come, though, maybe.
Yeah. The kiting potential is there. We'll be going for that Ag Swift slash play as well, which I like. You can just force out a lot of defensive spells and items whenever you use a Swift slash.
You can see Quincy Crew doing a good job of spreading out around the map. Leslau is up on the dire triangle now, just farming up, getting a couple of those neutral items, while simultaneously the rest of his team is just making some pretty impressive farming patterns. And Yamsun, yeah.
He's a human ward on this Mirana.
Oh no, they still found him regardless. Ryoya goes down again.
And now Fleet's caught.
Silence, Yules roll in, not gonna quite connect, but it doesn't matter. They still got him. Double kill, Zero up on the high ground. Jubei, he has a blink. It's not looking like it's gonna matter though, as the right clicks are coming in from Yawar, canceling his blink dagger. They find the kill onto Zero, rolling in for more, finding Jubei, enough for the finish. Swift Slash, or rather just Omni Slash, comes through and takes down two, but now Yimsun, he's in super deep. Gonna go for the spin TP back to base, and that will keep him alive.
Okay.
But, I mean, it came at a cost.
Yeah. They just bullied that Enigma back to his fountain and then just kill him with the Death Ward there. Really good job splitting the Omni Slash damage and somehow microing Hero's back so that the Omni Slash went all the way back to the Rax, and Quincy get bottom lane, and they're looking for a second lane of Rax. No real answer for Yawar's Medusa at this point. He is just this unkillable high ground sieging machine.
It was pretty cool. The LOA using the voodoo switcheroo. I appreciated that. That was pretty nice.
It's a cool shard. I like it a lot. It's definitely one of, I think, the underrated ones.
Silence again. Onto both of them. A good route. They still have Black Hole available. Jubei looking for an opening here, but again, it's against the Ags, or rather the Aegis. They take down the Witch Doctor. Zero starting to drop. Amsa not doing nearly enough damage with that Swift Slash. They still have another minute and a half left on this Aegis. Arrow goes out, misses Yawar. Yamsun now not able to get out of it because of the freaking Nature's Prophet Shard. And there's the cookback. Now trying to find it. Where's the opening? They jump in. Black Hole on the floor, but all the damage. It's gone. It's not there. Where is it? They don't have enough. Oh, they do kill one. Not enough, though. Yeah. Medusa's too big, too bad. Has that Aegis still. Zero's dead. It was a nice Black Hole, but it wasn't enough. And GG is called. Quincy crew take the series 2-1.
Yeah, they did a really good job. The only reason they grouped for that 4-man Black Hole is because they basically committed to kill the Jug, and without the Jug, there was no damage to basically follow up the Black Hole. Really, clean, crisp game 3 coming in from Quincy crew. And honestly, this is, I think, the black and yellow that we expected from day one. And it sucks because we're only finally seeing it now, this late in the tournament. It feels like they could have really been like more of a contender. And right now, unfortunately for them, they potentially face elimination because the first team to take a game off Quincy crew.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's what's wild about this, right? Is it's a showing that even in North America, where you've sort of got a pretty clear delineation between these teams, you can never count any team out in this game. It's anybody could come out with a strat and then execute really solidly. I will say that like you said, it sucks to see the black and yellow squad sort of having lost the series against A Team, for them at least, because now the sort of potential for them to move on is out of their hands. But it's not a foregone conclusion. A Team still need to close some things out as well.
Yeah, A Team 5-man minus, like A Team are definitely favored, but 5-man minus have a lot to play for, because if they win that best of 3, suddenly it is a 3-way tie for bottom 3 spots. So we're going to see 5-man minus going all out to get that win. I think they're probably a team that thought they were eliminated, and now they suddenly have this, this possibility of getting through. So it's not a foregone conclusion. Black and yellow definitely showing what they're made of and showing that they maybe do belong in this upper division.
We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for our series today, the second one of the day. I believe that we've got some more Tier 2 action coming up soon, but before we get to that, going to head on back to the panel. Before even that, we're going to head to a quick break. See you guys then.
Welcome on back, and it has been decided now. It takes 3 games to do so, but Quincy Crow will be able to remain at the top of the division now, taking down Black and Yellow in the full series spread here, gentlemen. But, they had us going for a bit in game number 2. What was it, though, Suns fan, in game number 3 that did allow Quincy Crew to yet again make it through the laning phase and then just flip that switch and go into a beast mode?
Yeah, it was the top lane, gentlemen. The game itself was not, I would not categorize this as a shellacking, but top lane was a mega shellacking. Underlord got no farm. That hero feels so bad to play if you don't get off to at least a decent start. Like, I know you can farm the wave and whatnot, but with so much pressure being applied to him, he just feels like a creep, just a fat, juicy creep ripe for the plucking. And that just left Yawar for, having a free game. I thought mid lane was generally even-ish. After even 25, 30 minutes, were somewhat even net worth-wise. But Juggernaut was just so far behind Medusa. And it's mainly because Medusa was left all alone in that top lane after 5 minutes.
Yeah, I would agree. This I think you said it, Dakota, as we were, phasing into the game, or between the game when we were talking. You said like, oh, they have the Witch Doctor into the Underlord, and like I didn't clue into it in the draft, but then I think back to like all the times that I've laned into Witch Doctor as Underlord, and it's a pain in the ass, man. He like maledicts you, and like any amount of damage, it feels like you just go down. Like, that hero, he's like a timber size, like a Tidehunter. He's like the type of hero that survives at like 20-30% HP, and he just keeps doing that fight after fight after fight, and even in the lane, and just regens up, and like that's why he's a pain in the ass. You can't do that against Witch Doctor. Like, he literally has a spell that makes that not possible. It's called Maledict. So yeah, him being off to a rough start as their last pick, like that's a big problem. You want your last pick to do way more than that. Like, that's the point of having last pick, right?
Yeah, certainly so. And maybe too much black and yellow looking inward, trying to, not be cheeky and fun, but try to make this position 5 Enigma work and think ahead about the mid game and the team fight, but not too much about the laning phase yet again. Gentlemen, we do have a winner's interview. Looks like we do have LOA going to be joining us for the winner's interview here. LOA, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Congratulations on your win here against Black and Yellow. You're able to get it done in 3 games, which obviously is probably not most expected coming into this series. You guys have had a track record of being able to crush the laning phase, flip a switch, and kind of, roll over your opponent. In game number 2, that did not seem to be the case. Can you just, run us back a bit for game number 2? After the draft, did you guys feel confident with that draft and a strategy you were going into the game?
Yeah, I mean, you're always confident after the draft, because if you're not confident, it just hurts you no matter what. So I think we were confident after the draft. I think that game, there were some small things that happened early that really derailed a lot of stuff and made it look really bad, whereas if some of those little things didn't happen, it can look really bad for them the other way around. It's just one of those games. It's like 100-0. One of the sides is going 100-0 the other side. And I think we just messed some stuff up, and then after that game it's generally really hard for us to play, because their heroes just get to a point where they're like unkillable for a decent period of time. So it's just one of those games that's kind of tricky, and you have to execute it really well, and we just messed some stuff up. So it's like, all right, write it off, go game 3. It happens.
Yeah, we say what we say, like volatile, a very volatile kind of game, where if it's like a house of cards, where if something doesn't go right in the early part of the game, the laning phase, then it's just that much of a steeper climb to get back into it. Now, have Jenkins, have Sunsfan here. Sunsfan, we have LOA, please.
Hello. Congratulations on your series win, good sir. I have a kind of a weird question. Compared to other teams that you've been on, would you consider you guys less tiltable? Because from our perspective, you guys have a very business-like approach. You just, even after a really stompy game 2 loss, which is the only game you lost the entire DPC, you come back really strong as if there was no effect whatsoever. You just seem super disciplined. Like, compare your tilt level versus other teams that you've been on.
I think the more players play the game and the more teams they've been on, the more tournaments they play in, they tend to tilt less, just because you have more of a backdrop of experience to like harken onto. So I think that's true of a lot of people on this team. We've played a lot together as well, so people get used to each other. They can pick each other up, or just say write it off or whatever. People trust each other more. That definitely helps. So I think this is the least tiltable team of all the iterations we've had, but it definitely happens. I mean, people on this team don't really tilt because stuff goes wrong. It's more they get frustrated because they know they can play better. So that's not a bad trait to have. I mean, obviously you don't want that going on during a playoff match or something like that, which doesn't really happen for us, but it's a valuable trait to have on teams, because you generally want people to be upset when you're not playing well. Like, that's how you drive progress as a team. The worst cases are when you're on a team and you lose and no one's upset, because then you're just done. Like, there's nowhere to go from there. If people aren't mad you lost, then it's kind of usually a sign people have either given up, or they're just completely confused, or they're zoned out. And those, to me, are always worse than someone just getting really mad we lost and wanting people to play better and fix whatever went wrong and improving as a team.
I have a quick follow-up. Have you guys rubbed off on Jack at all, or does he still tilt beyond belief in pubs?
I'm not sure. He hasn't played Dota in a while, I think, which is probably good for him. I know
he gets
when
more sleep now, I would assume.
Yeah, he definitely gets more sleep. I tend to try and get him not to rage as much in pubs, because then his rage rubs off onto other people. I've noticed. So you have to prevent the other way around a little bit. But generally, he's gotten better. He's gotten better over time. I mean, he's still incredibly toxic in pubs, but he's gotten better.
Old Jack.
Still better.
Old Jack.
Okay, so LOA, I noticed that you pub kind of infrequently. Like you don't put in 10 games a day like a lot of other NA pros do. But when you do, your win rate is really high, and you seem to always have good games. So my question for you is, when you do play pubs, do you change your play style to beat up on worse players, or do you value building habits instead?
No, I don't change anything. I just play. I mean, there's periods where I play a lot of pubs, and there's periods where I don't play a lot of pubs. I think that's actually true for a lot of captains. Just because there's certain periods where you're thinking of concepts or stuff you want to develop, or thinking of draft, or I watch a lot of games. Like if I'm not playing, I'm usually watching a game. I can watch 6 or 7 games a day, plus 3 or 4 replays or whatever.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so for me in Dota, you don't have to always be playing to be improving or learning something or developing ideas. A lot of times just observing games. I watch my own team play a lot. I watch their pubs so I can judge how they're using certain heroes in a certain way or something like that. So it just depends. I do try and play a lot, so I make sure I'm developing new stuff for my own role, which is what I mainly try to do. But I don't really change anything I do. I just try and play my best, use it to practice stuff we've talked about, try and win MMR so I can be really high MMR and inspire my team to greatness. But nothing crazy.
Cool.
Excellent, LOA. Do always appreciate the insight. Before I let you go, it is Valentine's Day. So do you have any Valentine's Day plans today with you, yourself, or maybe your team?
No, probably just watch the replays and figure out why we didn't play up to what we hold ourselves to standard-wise. That's a good Valentine's Day gift, I think. So.
Right back into the books, right back into the work. I mean, around the corner, you guys do have Evil Geniuses. We're about to take a sneak peek at the schedule, and I believe that is actually your next slated match to come, one we are incredibly hype about. So congratulations again today, and we look forward to watching that matchup next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Shouts again to LOA, a.k.a. SVG, for hopping on the mic and giving us that little bit of insight, gentlemen. Now, I have a couple things we do want to talk about and do go over here. Today, we were originally planned to move into the lower division for a Arkosh Gaming versus Jinghu matchup. But I did receive word from the admin that Jinghu have called it a forfeit, as they were not able to provide a full team for today. So Arkosh will be awarded the def loss 2-0 win in their favor.
The only way they can get a win. Only freaking way.
There's something there, something satanic. I don't know. That's not right.
So there's a little bit of talk about what to kind of potentially fill the space with. I can't make any guarantees there'll be something or not, but before we kind of get into that, why don't we go ahead and reflect a bit and check things out for the standings here. I don't mean to put production on the spot. My guy MLP, thank you so much. Let's see where things currently, stand here. As we witnessed today, Evil Geniuses take down A Team, and now Quincy Crew take down Black and Yellow. This means, of course, Evil Geniuses and Quincy Crew are still at the top. EG do have that extra series in, so they're waiting with 5-0. Quincy Crew with 4-0. They're going to have a lot of matches coming up in these next couple of weeks. Undying, still waiting, nipping at the heels, 4-1. They're hoping for a bit of a change. Yep, they're hoping for their own chance to maybe win against Quincy Crew as well. So lots of hype there. 4Zoomers and Sad Boys are both just waiting and hoping for things to just implode on the top of the division and an opportunity to present itself, but they're likely stuck in that middle. The bottom, though, could have got really interesting today, but is now still going to be this two-way tie between Black and Yellow and A-Team. A-Team will be squaring off against 5-Man next week. If they can win that, they will remain in the upper division. Hype stuff there. Anything to take away from that? Things still kind of just developing as we expect, gentlemen. You know, there were question marks on where Undying kindly reside, but, you know, things still trucking along just fine. We're just getting closer and closer to the mega hype deciders.
Yeah, Black and Yellow. I mean, they showed a glimpse of what we kind of expected them to show throughout the entire DPC, right? They just haven't been able to put it together for whatever reason. So now is the time, like I said earlier, to contact 5-Man Midas and give all the tips you can to help them create that three-way tie. Because if you create that three-way tie, I seriously don't know who to pick between A-Team and Black and Yellow. Because both teams, I mean, 5-Man Midas probably, not to count them out, but counting them out, the other two, it feels like a toss-up, honestly.
But you know, also the fact that everybody's kind of counting them out as like this is the team that nobody really talks about, that could ignite a fire. Like with A-Team, I feel like that's what happened with them. You know, they're getting shit talked by Black and Yellow apparently on certain streams, and they're just like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Let's go. Let's show them what we're made of.
True.
And and then I feel like Black and Yellow, in turn, they received some motivation for this second game against Quincy Crew, being the only team that took a game off of Quincy. I mean, it's getting interesting. Like, it's getting really good. Even this Quincy EG match, it's like, it raises some questions of like, okay, can LOA and his team really look and figure out like what the hell it was they did wrong in this second game? And are these openings that EG can abuse? Like, is EG going to look at this series and abuse the same openings? Or are the openings just not going to be there for the EG series? Are we going to see a totally different series with different heroes, different problems? Like, shit, it's getting tight here. It's getting tight here, guys. And I mean, before this game, I was like arguably more interested in the bottom three, and now it's like the top and the bottom are super interesting.
Yep. I don't want to put production too much on the spot, but if they do have that week 5 schedule available, I would love to check it out, and we can show everybody what's in store for them next week for North American Dota. Oh my goodness, what a week we have. Now, of course, we'll be back starting on Monday with lower division matchup, the Felt versus the Cut, which is actually the top of the pack in the lower division. Felt, I don't know if they still have their undefeated series record.
No,
but
they lost to 2-based.
Oh, they lost to 2-based, and now they have to go against number 2, the Cut here. And if they want an opportunity to move into the upper division, they better get this win and hope for a tiebreaker situation. On Tuesday, we all return for a couple of hype matches here. We have A-Team versus 5-Man Midas. That precious, precious match. A-Team, they can decide their own future. If they win this series, they get to remain in the upper division. If they don't win that series, we're going to be in for a 3-way tiebreaker situation for one team to stay in the upper division. After that, it's going to be Felt and Team Dogchamp. On Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, at 12 p.m. Pacific, it is time finally for Quincy Crew versus Evil Geniuses. Who is going to remain at the top, and likely who is going to get the express pass to the playoffs at the Major? Huge, huge match right there. Do not miss it. After that, we have Sad Boys versus Black and Yellow, a battle for the mid-pack. Sad Boys still want to hold that spot opportunity. They have to continue to get wins. Saturday's lower division. Sunday, we return for Quincy Crew Sad Boys. Zoomers versus Undying, also a hype match. And finish out with Simply 2-based for Jinghu. I always ask the question, what is the day to come and watch? But gentlemen, this is just a hype week of stacked NA Dota.
Yeah, there's several days that I would usually pick as the best of. But A-Team versus 5-Man Midas, man, don't
Tuesday,
fall
Thursday.
asleep on that.
These are the nice ones.
Yeah, they're very juicy. I mean, even Sunday, like Quincy Crew Sad Boys, you never know. Like by then, we're like, okay, well, Quincy Crew probably will be second place or first place by that point because they played EG. But Sad Boys, they have the roster to win series like this.
I mean, they beat EG in a game, so yeah, that definitely.
Right. And then for Zoomers Undying, kind of the same thing, with especially for Undying, where the tiebreakers are super important. And Zoomers, if you get that win, you could create an opportunity if, you know, Quincy Crew continues to lose or EG continues to lose, to have a really big tiebreaker with like 5 teams.
Yeah, it could get very interesting here. Sad Boys Black and Yellow too. Like, that matters a lot because Black and Yellow, if they beat Sad Boys, even if the A team match goes the way of A team, they still create a tie, right? So that matters a lot too, given the previous days. So it's stacking up pretty nicely here, I think.
Crazy stuff indeed, and it's only going to continue to get more and more hype. And that, I believe, should be concluding our official broadcast coverage for today, NADPC action. We are going to be slated to return on Tuesday. Well, Monday, technically, for more lower division action, so be here for that. And we got, of course, be sure to send some love out to MLP. He's been running production. He will not be able to get on the mic because of the canceled series. Shouts to John X Fire, who also will not be able to get on the mic today. But love to everybody else who came by and supported. We'll see you next time for more NADPC action. Take care.